Welcome to my baby in the making, the House of Caravera curriculum, a hybrid of English language arts and world cultures that is an immersive inquiry based program where students adopt expert roles to explore global cultures, conduct research, and solve real world problems through a narrative driven learning experience. A curriculum that isn't built just to teach to the test, but is built to help build the skills that our students need to succeed as they become lifelong learners. This unit is intended to be the first in the curriculum, a front loading of information, if you will, that will help them to soar to new heights and will begin to build a foundation for them that they will be able to use for years to come. In general, the overall goal of this unit is to equip students with the tools they need to locate, evaluate, and ethically use information, regardless of who they are or how they might struggle academically. The main UDL principles this unit of study aligns with are offering students multiple means of representation by allowing them the choice and voice in how they show their learning and understanding. It also aligns with DEI in that it isn't just a lesson, it's a resource of information for them to use as they progress in the curriculum. By including a unit at a glance and outlining the topics up front, we are hitting on a lot of key aspects of UDL's principles of providing multiple means of engagement. Because we aren't just showing them what the plan is, we are in fact providing them with a clear roadmap of where we are going and how we are going to get there. By doing so, we are catering to diverse learners and setting clear expectations, therefore, hopefully reducing any anxiety they might have about learning. Before getting into the depths of how to research, it's imperative that we make sure all students are on the same page as far as knowing how to make tech work for them. My students are always blown away at the beginning of the year when I show them how to do a split screen. And I can't begin to tell you how many students come up to me asking how to do the simplest things like copying and pasting. By explicitly teaching students how to use the tech they have at their fingertips, we are promoting equity and reducing barriers to learning. Because really, what we take for granted as everyday knowledge, in students' eyes, we're providing them with nuggets of gold to help them in their quest of knowledge. So let's add some more nuggets of gold to that pile of golden knowledge we're building by teaching them Boolean logic operators. If your school is anything like mine, the amount of sites blocked that students could benefit from when doing research is absolutely maddening. An easy way to get around that is by utilizing Boolean search operators. It helps to take away sites that don't specifically align with what your students are learning. Because the frustration students feel at continuously clicking on links that are blocked is a real thing. If we can help to empower students to conduct efficient research, it's a win for everyone. Not only is it a win, but it aligns with the UDL principles of enhancing strategic learning skills, and it definitely supports DEI by providing equitable access to information. In the age of fake news, the CRAP test is more important than ever. One of UDL's principles is fostering expert learners, or as I like to call them, lifelong learners. And the CRAP test supports this growth by showing them how to evaluate the information they find. Because too many people out there twist information to suit their own goals and agendas. While DEI encourages scrutiny of information and locating biases, this is critical thinking at its core. By teaching students to evaluate sources using the CRAP test, they will develop the skills they need to catch the information that might not be as truthful as it says it is. One of the key competencies of UDL is offering multiple means of action and expression, which is why I wanted to show students how to take several different styles of notes. But I wanted to keep it simple. Instead of having them use multiple different programs and having to learn the ins and outs of each of them, I feel like students learning how to use one of the programs we use the most to the best of their abilities would be the best option. By teaching them how to use the tools already available to them within Google Docs, we're adding more golden nuggets to their pile of golden knowledge and helping them to be able to create engaging notes that are easily accessible and shareable with others without having to pay for access to other apps and programs just in case they do want to access or add to this information on their own time. Once again, aligning with UDL's multiple means of representation, teaching students how to create their own graphic organizers helps students to organize information visually, aiding in comprehension and retention. This is especially so for students who need that visually compartmentalized information so that their brain can actually process all of it. For them, other ways of taking notes might just seem like a jumbled mess and leave them withering away in a heaping pool of anxiety. Personally, this style of notes would drive me insane, but it's not about how we learn. It's about what works for our students. Moving on with hitting hard at that goal of UDL multiple means of engagement. This time, though, we are catering to our visual learners, those students who need to see pictures and videos to help them with retaining the information they are learning. Also, honestly, for my kids who are forward thinkers and like to kill two birds with one stone, you know the ones who catch on that if they take their notes on Google Slides, they will later be able to format it so that it works as a presentation as well. So last but not least, including traditional note-taking methods creates this perfect bridge between UDL and DEI. Not only are we ensuring accessibility for all students, but we are also respecting diverse preferences and promoting inclusivity. To top it off, in a world so inundated with technology, taking it back to the old school ways and activating those neural pathways that handwriting fires up can really help with retention. Not to mention, for my ASMR loving students, there's just something so satisfying and calming about the sound of pen on paper or the feel of sliding that highlighter over those key terms. Just keyboards can't give you that satisfaction. Now that we've covered how to take notes, let's move on to what they need to be doing with those notes. You see, the beauty of teaching students to paraphrase the information they have gathered is more than twofold. It doesn't just encourage them to go over the information multiple times so that they can truly process the information and have a deeper understanding of it, but at this stage of their academic careers, they're still building up their vocabulary. And personally, learning how to paraphrase helped me to increase my own vocabulary, and in such a way that I didn't realize that's what I was doing. Getting my students to do vocabulary work has been one of the banes of my existence as a teacher. So if I can get them to expand their vocabulary without realizing that that is what they're doing, everyone wins. Yet another aspect of UDL's alternate means of engagement is providing the opportunity for students to utilize tools that will help them succeed when other ways might be a struggle for them. Honestly, I love writing. It's my preferred method of communication, but I know it's not for everyone. I have students who can't write to save their lives, but let them tell you what they think, and they'll blow your socks off. We need to be providing every student with the opportunity to shine. And if that means doing away with tried and true, I'm happy to roll into the future if it means that they can succeed too. Now, let's get into something that might not be engaging and something students and ourselves are not really eager to do. And that's referencing authors and including quotes within our writing. It's not fun, but it's morally right and shows academic integrity. Yet again, another principle of DEI. I'm of the belief that the sooner the better when teaching how to reference quotes, because if we start students off early with this ever-present skill, it becomes second nature, saving them from the horrors of what can happen with plagiarism. So on that note, let me walk you down my memory lane. I remember doing vague referencing and citations when I was in high school. Then when I started college, I had a literal meltdown. What do you mean formatting of citations? Or I fail. What is MLA and APA and all these other different methods of citing resources? Ah! Oh my gosh, it was bad. I really don't want my students to have the freak out I did. However, I also don't want them to be bogged down with formatting of citations. Also, To add to that, citation machines are blocked on my campus. Go figure. So for now, in sixth grade, I feel like at least introducing them to the idea of finding the basic information and showing where they found that information is at least a step in the right direction. So honestly, as an English teacher, I balk at the idea of teaching how to write an essay in a day. Writing is just something that is honed over time. And for this, really, I just want to show them the structure they need to follow. Not teaching them how to write, teaching them what to write. So by breaking down what should be seen more or less in each paragraph, we're following the UDL principle of developing strategic learners, because they know that if they're struggling, they will have a resource that they can go back to that will help them to fill in those pieces. So DEI and UDL are both all about respecting diverse learning styles and allowing students the choice of voice. By providing students the opportunity to utilize their creative talents through the creation of presentations, I'm allowing for that shine to happen. But once again, students need structure. And if we don't explicitly tell them what is and isn't considered appropriate for formal presentations, they're just going to continue to create presentations that look like they belong in an elementary school room. And we've finally arrived. The summative essay. This is where our students will show us that they can synthesize all the information we have been covering and shine like the bright golden stars they are. But in order to support equity of students, they need to know how to shine. And that's where we ensure that everyone has the keys to success by providing rubrics so that they can check themselves along the way as they strive for perfection. Or, strive to at least pass. Now, we're finishing hard with that UDL alternate means of representation by really letting the students go all out and create their very own presentation, exemplifying all that they have learned in all of its visually appealing glory. But wait, I lied. That wasn't the end. One of the best ways for us to assess our own learning is to assess the creations of others. It's not just about pointing out what others did right and wrong when you're assessing others' work, because in the back of your own head, you're really assessing your own. Nothing is a better teacher than realizing where you made mistakes and how you can fix them in the future. This personal reflection on your own work and feedback from others, it helps to foster a supportive learning community that values diverse perspectives. So, by integrating UDL and DEI principles throughout this unit, I aim to develop critical lifelong learners equipped with the tools to succeed in a diverse world, not just in my classroom, but all the classrooms that they will find themselves within in the future. Because one day, my students will be your students.